Soweto residents want Eskom and the City of Joburg to solve their electricity problems once and for all. They've tried blockading roads. Nothing will help, to highlight their plight since their electricity was disconnected. Most of the 700 homes have been without power for a while now. ENCA's Manqoba Mchunu tells us that the residents have now given Eskom a deadline. Good afternoon, Manqoba. Just talk to us about this deadline by residents at this point.
What we do understand is that the residents have now held a meeting. You recall that earlier on there was that meeting that residents held with the Premier's office to try and find a resolution to this problem. We do understand, of course, that earlier during the week the Premier's office had come to this community trying to deal with this issue of electricity and the disconnections that had taken place here on the 23rd of November. And you recall that Eskom had imposed a 6,000 rand fine for community members who it found that they were illegally disconnected to the grid, and also those that were not paying for the service. But what we do understand, Fundo, coming from that meeting is that they have now agreed that each and every household here will actually contribute or take out 500 rand, which will be paid to Eskom. They're saying that this is the only amount of money that they can afford to pay. They cannot afford to pay that 6,000 rand fine that was imposed by Eskom. And so what we do understand is that they have agreed with Eskom, and earlier on, just speaking to some of the community leaders, they're saying that they will be paying this money by Monday, and they're expecting Eskom to then reconnect electricity here in this particular area on Tuesday. And if it does not do that, they're saying that they are then going to go back to the streets to vent their frustrations. And as you can see behind me, Mfundo, the roads have now been opened and traffic is moving here, and residents are now saying that they're going to give Eskom up until Tuesday to reconnect the electricity. But we do understand also that there is a group of lawyers that is taking this issue in court. They are threatening to take Eskom to court if at all it fails to connect electricity back to this community. And joining me now is the lawyer from from lawyers representing black people who's taking this matter. Thank you very much for your time, Zuko. Tell me firstly, why have you taken this matter to Eskom? What is it that you want to see happen in terms of the reconnection and the electricity issues here?
Thank you very much. Thank you, Mr. Manqoba, and greetings to the viewers of ENCA. We must understand that, first of all, that each and every South African has got a constitutional right to access to amenities, which is water and electricity. Now we have learned that Eskom has unlawfully disconnected the services, which is electricity, to the community, and they have not given the community what we call pre-termination notices. So we are taking to court on that, the matter to court on that basis, that we want Eskom to engage meaningfully the community, and we want them to have electricity, because a lot of people and elderly people need this electricity to survive, and there's a lot of kids that need this electricity.
Okay, and in terms of the steps you've taken, we do understand that you've also written a letter to Eskom. What is it that you're demanding from Eskom that's contained in the letter that you've sent to them?
Well, we have dealt with the issues of constitutionality in our letters quite translucently in our papers, and we've invited Eskom to say that Eskom must allow people to have electricity, and to that extent that we need a meaningful engagement. There is no reason whatsoever after elections that the electricity can be disconnected, to the extent that we know, we have learned from the community that they have done so without a court order and without inviting them to meaningfully engage with the community. So we are taking Eskom to court on that basis, but we've given them a letter putting them on terms that, can you please assist our people in ensuring that they have the access at least to electricity.
And in terms of the deadline that you've given Eskom, understand that you've given them 5 hours to reconnect, or else you're saying that you're going to court on Tuesday.
Well, Eskom has not responded to our letter of demand, and to that extent we have instructed our advocates to approach the court on Tuesday for the reconnection of services. So it is very clear that this is either political or otherwise, but our people must be called. It is not something that is impossible. Eskom as an entity that represents the public must invite those who are indebted to them to come and meaningfully engage with them. So if Eskom has not responded to us, we have no choice but to approach the court to assist the people who are in suffering right now.
And what do you make of this deal that the community says they've now reached with Eskom? In fact, they're saying that they're expecting to pay those 500 rands on Monday and for the reconnection to be restored on Tuesday. Will you still be going ahead with that legal action if at all there is that agreement in place?
I invite the community not to pay anything. Eskom must do the right thing. And Eskom has got a constitutional duty to give notices to the community and invite them so that it can understand their personal circumstances. So at this juncture, people are being robbed because Eskom cannot make poor people suffer for its maladministration. We know that Eskom is in this state as a result of maladministration. So we want our people not to pay anything until Eskom has engaged us as the lawyers for black people who are representing the community.
But are you engaging these community members and these community leaders on your court action? Because some of them seemingly are not aware of it.
Well, we are engaging some of the community leaders, but obviously we can see that there are political there are political things that are happening in that community. But this is not a political matter. It's only a legal issue which needs a legal solution. What we want as an organization is that people must not be deprived of their constitutional right to electricity. And it is only fair that Eskom invites the people to meaningfully engage with them and all that.
Okay, thank you very much for your time, Zugoma Tigane, who is from the lawyers representing black people. They, of course, are saying that they're going to take this issue to court if electricity is not reconnected in this area. But as things stand, Fundo, I can tell you that things have gone back to normal. We are seeing quite a lot of movement compared to the scenes that we saw earlier on this morning. But community members insisting that this is not the end of their protest.
No, interesting. So these lawyers will in fact argue on the processes they believe were not followed before disconnecting. A very interesting case, I must say. Thank you very much. That's our reporter, Manqoba Mchunu there.